Why the name Where's George? I had the original idea to start the website, the dollar bill tracking. I put together some names. Of course, I needed a good domain name for this website. And I came up things like with dollar tracker or bill finder or sort of lots of combinations of those simple words. And I sent a list of 5 or 6 of them out to my friends saying, which one of these do you like? And a friend of mine wrote back simply, why not, where's George, in quotes, kind of like, where's Waldo?
Where's George is simply a currency tracking website where people enter their money and see where it goes.
I started Where's George back in 1998 on a lark, sort of on a whim. I was going to lunch one day and I had a dollar bill in my hand that had a message written around the border that said, write this message on 10 other dollar bills and good luck will come to you. And I thought about it for a few minutes and I thought it was kind of interesting, and who wrote this note on the bill and how did it get to me, and where did it go to get to me, and where is it going to go next, and sort of all these questions came to me. And then a minute later I thought, it's kind of interesting, these bills have unique serial numbers, and theoretically you could track them like packages or anything with unique numbers.
People who receive marked bills can participate in Where's George by entering the bill's necessary information. The user selects the denomination of the bill they received. They also select the bill series as well as the 10 or 11-character serial number and the zip code the user is currently in. The user can also leave a note about where the bill was found and the condition it is in.
The whole nomenclature and lingo that has been created all around and about Where's George has been entirely from the user's standpoint. I created the website, I put it out there, and the community and the nomenclature has been completely created by the community itself. I haven't done any of that, and it's really pretty remarkable, the terminology that these people have come up with.
Georger, a registered Where's George user. Georged bill, a bill that has been entered at the Where's George website. Wild, a bill that has been previously entered at the Where's George website and is marked with the web address. Hit, a bill which is re-entered at the Where's George website.
I got involved in Where's George January of 2002, I think it was. I found a George bill from a guy from Dillon, Indiana. And I entered it and I thought, wow, this is pretty slick. What a novel idea.
I got a $5 bill one day with the Where's George website on it, and I got curious. So I went to it. I've been hooked ever since.
I had found a dollar bill in a vending machine at an auto reclamation center here in St. Louis, where I had been servicing some vending machines, and they asked me to count them out some change for a $100 bill. So I started thumbing through the $1 bills, and I saw this one with Where's George on it, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to look into this. Like the 3rd or 4th one I'd seen like this, I thought I've got to look into this and find out what it is.
I got into Where's George because I found a bill when I was at a camera store in Ottawa that had the website on it, and I went to the website, and after that I just kind of kept doing it.
I got into Where's George from finding a bill out in the wild, basically.
I found a bill and I was curious, so that's where I got into Where's George. I just went to the website and it was interesting.
I got into Where's George when I found a dollar bill when I was working as a restaurant manager.
work for Nestle's USA in their frozen food section. I work with the frozen foods.
I work at Memorial Hospital in Carmondale in surgery department.
Well, right now I'm in restaurant work in Buffalo. It's just basically for something to hold on to make money until I can get something more.
When I first started this, I was a vending machine representative, went around filling vending machines. Now I'm sort of in the middle of careers. I'm going to school full time to learn the funeral industry. I'm studying to become a funeral director in embalmer.
I'm an art student at Illinois State University.
I work for General Electric Transportation in Erie, PA. I'm in quality assurance up there, and I own primary loading supply.
I'm a frozen food clerk in Connecticut.
I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have never worked. I have 3 kids. And I am very active. I bowl, I play softball, play volleyball. We travel. I got a big yard to take care of. I don't have to work, so that's cool.
Before I started Where's George, I was a data warehouse architect, consultant, and business intelligence application developer. And then I started Where's George while I was doing that, and left doing that about 4 years ago, and then been doing Where's George and other independent web projects since then.
In 1998, Where's George started out with 315 users, or commonly called Georgers. 1999 saw significant growth with a membership of 118,000. 2000, the site had over 500,000. 2001 with 1 million users. 2002 there were 1.5 million. 2003 with 2.2 million. 2004 with 2.8 million Georgers. And in 2005, there were 3.3 million registered users of where'sgeorge.com. One of the many games the Georgers play is 50-state bingo. This is when a Georger has at least one hit in all 50 states. One other type of bingo is FRB bingo. In this game, the user tries to get a hit in all the cities that have a Federal Reserve Bank. There are several versions of this type of bingo.
I stamp my bills with a stamp that I ordered that says Where's George on it, and I have a circle one, and sometimes I'll just write it on there with a Sharpie or print it through a printer.
I was one of the first ones that ever did that. I put the pig on there, a little caricature of a pig, and it sort of got started from there because then talking about it in the forums and other people seeing those bills, and folks started hunting for their own unique bill identifier.
A stamp convention that I went to, I found a campfire. And so now I stamp the campfire in one of the corners.
One that I do for my lottery bills, my alma mater for high school is Lanford High School, and I've got a black and orange stamp. This is Lanford High School fans go to www.where'sgeorge.com.
There are some Georgers that stick to marking their bills by hand.
I think the people who do this as a hobby, it's an excellent way to kind of see other people who are doing this and their locations, and I'm not saying meet other people, but just kind of see across the board this is a national thing. It kind of unifies people, brings them together. The attitude that we as tellers have, a lot of us think it's fun, and I've actually been to the website. I don't think I've registered a bill, but I've just seen where certain bills come through. I don't know that anyone I've worked with has actually been there, but we just kind of take it in stride. Our bank does not have a policy regarding where'sgeorge.com bills. The only thing we have are if the money's messed up, marked up, we put it in mutilated. I don't think I've ever mutilated a bill that has actually had the stamp where'sgeorge.com on it though.
What does my family think about Where's George and me doing it? My daughter thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. My sons both think it's a little whacked out. My wife pretty much tolerates it, but if she finds a bill that has "Where's George" on it, she'll save it and bring it home to me, because she's mildly interested in finding out where that bill was at, too.
My family, they're happy I have a hobby that just keeps me busy sometimes and out of their hair.
My family thinks of me doing Where's George is one of the craziest things they've heard of. They don't condone it, but they think they're not into it, they don't understand it, they just think it's a crazy hobby.
Well, they think it's kind of strange, but they think as long as it's something that, it's a hobby that keeps me occupied and keeps me happy and stuff, they think it's cool, and they've been pretty supportive. They haven't been able to get into it themselves that much.
They're used to it now. At first they thought I was a little bit crazy. My husband thought I was crazy. But now he's a Georger also.
My family thinks that Where's George, rather my dad thinks that Where's George can get me arrested. He thinks it's illegal to do, and that the government can trace my bills over the website and then find me and come and arrest me.
The reactions I get from spending Where's George dollars have several people ask me, "Did you do this?" I went to a Walgreens here in town recently, and they threatened not to take my money, and I told them, "Hey, I don't have a problem. The Walgreens on the other side of town loves my money. I'll take it there, no problem." I said, "But you can rest assured I'll call your manager when I get home." And she reluctantly took my money.
The worst action, or I should say adverse action, that I got was from a gal in Holland, Michigan. She ran a convenience store. We went up there for a karate tournament, and as I was going out of town, we stopped to get sodas and ice water and stuff like that. And I handed her like 9 stamp bills to pay for the drinks, and she berated me in front of my kids. You know, if you ain't got any better time to do this and stamp these currencies and stuff like that. That was the worst case. And I just looked at her and says, "Now, if I gave you this $50 bill, you'd take it and spend it, wouldn't you?" She goes, "Well, I'm not a fool." Yelling and screaming at me for the ones, but she was going to take that 50.
I've gotten other people interested in it, and I got some people that won't even accept them. I got a confectioner right down the street from me, will not accept my bills. So I said, fine, I'll take my business elsewhere.
What sort of reactions I get when I spend my bills? Depending on where I spend them. Some people are too busy even to notice them. We went to Six Flags yesterday, and all of the ticket takers looked at the bills, and they, just, "Oh, this is interesting." I'm not the type of person, I really don't sit there and elaborate on it. If someone looks interested in it, I will tell them about the site. But the majority of the time, I just play it off like I got it at the bank.
Most people don't really notice or don't react to my marked bills when I spend them. There was one place that I used to spend a lot of money, and they started noticing. And after they asked me about it, they started being on the lookout for ones that weren't marked the way that I marked mine, and says, "Oh, I found one of those Where's George bills. Do you want it?" And they would put them aside and save them for me.
Although I've heard lots of stories from some of the other people that they've had their bills rejected. I've had bills rejected by a lot of machines. Like vending machines, sometimes they get picky.
And it's like when I've been going to the convenience stores around here, pay $2 or $3 for something, and it's stamped money, and they're slowly looking at it. I just go, "Hey, I'm here in this state. I'm from Oregon, and I'm here for the dollar tracking convention." They go, "Okay," stick it in the till. I go, keep them moving. That's it, and I just walk away.
The people who notice my bills tend to ask, like, "What is this?" or sometimes check it and make sure if it's real. Like, a lot of times people just kind of ignore it.
I've had people, say, "Did you write on this money?" And I said, "Yes, I have." And they said, "Well, it's a federal offense." And I go, "Well, I think if they want to find me, they can locate me and come and get me."
There was a Georger named Keith who dumped a bunch of his Where's George bills at his bank, and the bank then informed the Treasury, and the Treasury contacted the Secret Service, which looked into the website.
About 5 years ago, the Secret Service had contacted me. When I started the website, I was selling rubber stamps online to people to participate in the hobby. And the Secret Service had contacted me and informed me that that was not, in their opinion, legal due to not a law about defacement, but another law that most people don't know about that makes it illegal to advertise on currency. So because I was selling these rubber stamps for a profit with my website address on the stamp and people were using it to mark currency, that constituted advertising on my behalf, which is clearly legal based on this advertising law. So they had requested that I stop selling the rubber stamps, which I did. They made no comment about the rest of the website or the hobby.
The law Hank talks about is Title 18, Section 475 of the United States Code, which prohibits the making, distribution, or use of any business card, notice, placard, handbill, or advertisement in the likeness or similitude of an obligation or security of the United States. There are people who would say that stamping on dollar bills is defacement. Under Title 18, Section 333, defacement is generally defined as whoever mutilates, cuts, disfigures, perforates, unites, or cements together, or does any other thing to any bank bill, draft, note, or evidence of debt issued by any national banking association, Federal Reserve Bank, or Federal Reserve System with intent to render such items unfit to be reissued.
I entered my 45,000th one yesterday, and so I'm over that now.
Prior to here, I think I'm at 130,000 bills. Most of my bills that I input came in from when I was delivering pizza for 6 years.
How many bills I've entered? Close to 38,000.
I'm ashamed to say that I have 330,000 bills entered. Out of that, I have, at last count, as of this morning, I had about 51,000 re-entries, hits, about 51,000.
In the first year of existence of the Where's George website, there were more than 2,900 bills entered. By the end of 1999, the website had more than 1.7 million total unique bills recorded. Each year, the website would almost double in bill entries. 2005 closed out with a total of 75 million bills entered. In early August 2005, about 60 Georgers met in St. Louis for the 4-day national gathering. The meet and greet was held in downtown St. Louis in the historic Union Market at the Drury Inn and Suites Convention Center, which was the official hotel of the St. Louis gathering.
Anything except H, G, and L.
The St. Louis gathering, there's just so many people here. It's a little bit overwhelming. There's just like so many people, so much to do, so many people to meet.
Well, I like it. It's been really good. It's been fun. We went to the ball game last night.
The St. Louis gathering this year has been absolutely the biggest and best gathering I've attended so far. They tend to grow each year as the site becomes more and more popular and more users get involved and learn of these gatherings that take place.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball cap, 249134. Blue, 249134.
A raffle was held for Where's George paraphernalia, and an auction was held for these one-of-a-kind bar lights.
We got this amount of numbers. I knew we were going to have a lot. We were not prepared for this many. Not prepared at all.
And when we went to the Drury Inn to talk to them about the rooms, we booked a block of 10 rooms thinking, boy, we're going to be lucky if we book these rooms. And lo and behold, I think we filled up the motel down there. So we had no inclination whatsoever it would be this huge.
I've been to probably 12, 13 gatherings, and this is by far the biggest and best.
Now it's like a cult following. We schedule our vacations around gatherings now because we know some of our favorite, it's like a family reunion. I mean, we know some of our favorite people are going to be there, and we can't wait to see them and look at their kids' pictures and see how big their kids have grown.
This is the largest gathering that I've been to, the largest major gathering. We had a ton of people there. It was just super. We had a lot of fun at the main get-together, and the nightlife here with your fellow Georgians, there just isn't anything like it. It's just super.
Some of the Georgers enjoyed signing autograph books in which they could show other Georgers how they personalized their bills.
Would I think it would be this size again? No. I think this is a first-time thing. That it is a gathering, and they do get to meet other Georgers, but a lot of people make it into like a little mini vacation. They haven't been to St. Louis. Would I think we would have this amount of numbers again? I don't know.
On the final morning of the gathering, a group of Georgers took a tour of the Federal Reserve Bank.
We're definite close-knit community. We do have that appearance of the cult following. And we take a lot of resentment to that, but we're a very close family. Something happens to one of us, one of our families, everybody knows about it, everybody's lends support. We've had people's parents die, sisters die, fathers, mothers, brothers, and we've donated flowers to charities. We have one Georgia that's had cancer and asked us to donate to cancer charities. We've raised thousands of dollars for that. My husband and I started the Operation Doomer bracelets, where we have taken the Lance Armstrong looking bracelets and sold them. Half the money went to a kids cancer camp in Vermont, another went to cancer research in Boston. None of that is possible without these people. It's a wonderful, wonderful family community. You don't know these people from anywhere, and then you come to a place like this and you're so well accepted. No one thinks, anything of you. You're so unjudged. Race, color, sex, sexual orientation, creed, it doesn't matter to these people, and that's a wonderful, wonderful, accepting, place to be.
Well, one of my memorable moments would be the first time I went to a Where's George gathering. It was in Virginia Beach in September of last year. That was the first time I'd ever gotten to meet any internet friends in real life. And one of my favorite bills was one I had a bill show up in Long Island that the user note said that they got it as change back from a pregnancy test, and then they added that, by the way, it was positive. And I thought that was just so special that I could have been part of their moment.
The future of Where's George is pretty much similar to the past. I'll continue running it and doing what I'm doing for as long as I can. Continue to grow the site, make it better for the users that enjoy it. It's clearly a new hobby that's tapped a nerve in a lot of people that enjoy it in ways that I've never ever expected to happen. And as long as I can keep it going and keep it running, I will. There have been a number of other currency tracking sites that have been inspired by Where's George, and I look at it sort of two ways. It's very flattering that a lot of other people have found my idea interesting enough to sort of create their own website to track currency, particularly those in other countries. There's a handful in Europe that track the euro. There's a couple in England that track the pound. There's in Japan for the yen. There's, I think, somebody starting one in Australia. And it's flattering that I've created this, distinctive hobby that people can enjoy around the world. There's a couple smaller sites that are trying to track U.S. currency in America, which is fine. I don't own any intellectual property rights on the idea, even though I did come up with it. And if they want to, that's fine, but I'm not crazy about it.